What up, guys? It's Dragon Ball for Life here with the Dragon Ball Superhero movie review. Now, I was stated that I was gonna, watch this movie on Saturday and then make a review on it, but I had some stuff happening, so I could only watch it on a later screening at 10:50, and at that time I couldn't really, come home and record it and then upload the video and stuff. So I'm gonna be giving you guys the review on Sunday, and today's Sunday, luckily for you guys. So yeah, before I get into, talking about what I felt about the movie and giving my overall, review on it, I do want to give a recap of the movie itself. And before we get into the recap, I do want to say I will be doing full-on spoilers. I'm going to be spoiling the whole movie, so if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, just get off and, possibly just go and watch the movie itself before you watch this. And if you already seen the movie or just don't care, this video is going to be for you guys. So yeah. The beginning of the movie starts off with a narration talking about Goku and what he did with the Red Ribbon Army and, Commander Red and how he took it down. He, infiltrated the base and took them all down. Then they explain more about, Dr. Gero and his wife and, their kid, which was a model. Andrew 16 was modeled off of him, and then they show two other people who we don't see, they're blacked out, and then we see their son, which is Dr. Hito in this movie, who created Gamma 1 and 2, and also Cell Max. Now, Dr. Hito is technically, he's literally Dr. Gero's grandson. We don't see his parents or have really full-on mention of them. All we do hear from Dr. Hito is that the fact that his parents try to disassociate themselves with Dr. Gero, and try to disassociate themselves from the Red Ribbon Army because they felt like they kind of took advantage of him and his intelligence and basically made him go evil and stuff, which is quite interesting to think of, if I'm being honest. Because now I'm wondering, was Dr. Gero just a normal dude that got brainwashed and turned bad, or was he just bad all along? So it's like they gave us a little bit more of that, which was interesting, but nothing enough to explain the whole backstory. But yeah, they gave us a recap of that, and then we have we have this weird like spy bot, like this little bee thingy, watching this car move, and the car is basically driven by this one assistant guy. I don't remember his name, but he drives a car for the leader of this new Red Ribbon Army, who has this HQ and this I guess you could say fake or alternative company or whatever, where it's like a red pharmaceuticals or something like that, but it's basically a front for the Red Ribbon Army itself, and he's trying to build it up, and he's trying to take out Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the guys by getting Dr. Gero's grandson, Dr. Hito, to join him to create these androids to take him down. And he basically what's the thing called? He's basically the main villain of this movie. Well, not the main villain, but he's the villain that basically pushes the whole story itself. And Dr. Hito is part of it, but I wouldn't consider him technically a villain. So as he's explaining this and we get these explanations, we find out Dr. Hito actually went to prison, and they came there to pick him up because he was let out. And as he's let out, some of the prison inmates are like talking trash to him, and he picks up a grenade, unpins it, and throws it in there and blows them all up, which is pretty funny if I'm being honest. They pick him up and they start talking to him. Magenta, who is the name of the the Red Ribbon Pharmaceutical Company, who was basically, what's the thing called? Red's, I think, son? I think he was Red's son. So now we have Red's son and we have Dr. Gero's grandson working together. So he picks him up in the car, he starts talking to him, and Hito basically explains that he knows who he is, he knows about his organization, he's been spying on them, and he shows his little spy bee bot that he used. And we also get explanation on why he went to prison. Apparently he took bodies. I think he either dug them up or took them from the morgue and basically did what his Dr. Gero did and experimented on them and basically added mechanical components onto it and turned them into like cyborgs. And he basically had them working in a convenience store to make him money, which the other guy was like Magenta was like, why didn't this guy just rob the place? He's stupid, why would he do that? But we do learn on later on that Hito is not actually evil, and he considers himself as a hero, though I think he's definitely a misguided one, but he considers himself as a hero. So it makes sense why he didn't rob the place, because he knows that that's not heroic, that's villainous. And though what he did was wrong, definitely, it wasn't wrong in the sense of him being evil, it was just wrong in the sense of it being immoral and very illegal. So yeah, that's what happens with him. They start talking, and then he's trying to get him on his side. He's saying, "Oh, I'll pay you this much," and Hito doesn't seem like he cares. He just wants to do his research and stuff. But Magenta is trying to, like, he basically lies to him and he manipulates him into thinking for some reason that Goku, Vegeta are evil aliens, and like all the other, like Piccolo and all of them are evil aliens, and the Capsule Corporation is a front for this evil organization that's trying to work with these aliens for an alien invasion. And he explains this, and he talks about Cell, which they also show a visual representation of Cell, and he tells him that basically that, yeah, Dr. Zoro created Cell to take them out because these evil aliens were gonna wipe out this planet, and they were working with Capsule Corp and Brief, and Bulma is evil, and these two, Goku and Vegeta, are the leaders and stuff. And he's like, oh, they are evil, so he creates Gamma 1 and 2 as superhero androids to take these guys out because they're supposed to be villains, which is kind of dumb because if you think about it, it makes no sense that he would fall for this. He's a smart guy for one. Two, he was able to understand, the whole front of the Red, I think it was pharmaceutical company, being a front for the Red Ribbon Army. So he's obviously smart, and he's able to, he did his own, investigation and found out quite a bit of information. But then he was tricked by the villain to believing that Goku and Vegeta and the rest of the, Z fighters were evil, and the Capsule Corporation was working with them, and that, Cell was created to take down this great evil. Even though we know that Cell, literally televised what happened. Because if you guys remember, all the way back in Dragon Ball Z, in the Cell Saga, literally Cell comes into the news station recording studio, and he destroys the place, kills one of the guys there on live television, then puts his hand back and blows up the city, destroying and killing a bunch of people, and even threatens to blow up the earth and saying he wants to fight these guys. He wants a challenge, and if they can't beat him, that he will destroy the planet. So how the hell is Magenta able to convince Dr. Hito, somebody as smart as him, that these guys are the evil ones and that Cell was actually made for like a good cause? Like, it was blatantly obvious. You literally saw news broadcasting around the world from Cell threatening to destroy the world. So how the hell is he falling for this? For me, it felt kind of dumb that one, a guy as smart as him would fall for this, and two, this was shown, and Cell was not like, pretend like, oh, I might be a good guy. No, he was straight up saying, I'm evil, I'm here to kill you guys. So I don't know how he fell for that, but he did. He gets him on his side, and then he's getting him to make Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And then we have, the Z fighters and what they're doing. We have Piccolo training Gohan's daughter Pan. He's training her how to fight. She doesn't know how to fly. He said, it's okay, you're only three and a half, whatever. And he's saying, we will help you train and learn how to fly, but first you need to do the basics and stuff. So he's basically, training her like how he trained Gohan. And he's kind of like now being a kind of, I guess you could say, grandfather or an uncle to her, basically training her. And we have Goku and Vegeta on Beerus' planet with Broly training with, there, and basically just messing around. Whereas Piccolo's training Pan, Gohan's, doing his own stuff, studying since he's a biologist, and everybody else is doing their own stuff. So he's doing that. She's going to her preschool, and he's meditating. He's meditating by his house. He lifts up this rock, and he's just meditating there. And Gamma 2 comes in and shoots a gun at him and tries to take him out. And now they get into a fight. He's saying that Piccolo is evil, and they're throwing punches and stuff. And he's getting a bit of the better of Piccolo. He fires one of the energy attacks. Piccolo's able to get out of there, but a massive explosion happens and stuff. And Gamma 2 thinks he's dead, so he leaves and goes back to base to talk. Piccolo is obviously alive, and Piccolo is now trying to follow these guys, so he follows him, finds out this, Red Ribbon Army secret hideout, and then he tries to hide into it by taking one of the guys out, taking his costume, and hiding as one of the guards and stuff to get inside the building. And then we have the talk between, Dr. Hito and Magenta saying, oh, we should release Cell Max and we should have Cell Max done and stuff. And he's like, no, it's going to take a lot of time. It's, it's a big process. He's not fully complete and stuff. And he said, we don't even need him because we have, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 to handle these guys. And they're arguing a little bit back and forth, but it's nothing too crazy. And then we see Piccolo there, listening, and he finds more about their plans, and he's like, "Oh crap, they're really trying to kidnap her." And he's like, "What should I do?" And they're sending some people out to find Pan and to kidnap her. And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go with them." So he gets himself along with them. They go to, they go to get Pan. The guy he goes with gets taken out by Pan. So Piccolo, he's like talking to her, like, "Hey, look." She notices, it's Piccolo, and he tells her, "Hey, look, I want to take you to this base and stuff, and I want you to pretend that you got taken. I need you to do this for me." And he explains it to her. And the reason Piccolo is going along with this instead of taking them out is because he notices that Gohan has gotten weak. When he talked to him, he noticed that Gohan gotten severely weaker. That he was only focusing on his studies and not training. He was yelling at him for not picking up Pan and stuff, and being too focused on his his work than actually anything else in his life. So he said, "You know what? The best thing for Gohan is to allow this to happen, because now if he feels his daughter's in danger, that he will have to act up and do something about it, and in doing so, it will push him and get him stronger." So he takes Pan. Pan is working with Piccolo because she knows like she can trust him. So he takes her to the base. He comes back with the guy to take over to go to Gohan. Gohan basically, he's taken nonchalantly until he sees the video of his, his daughter Pan getting taken. Though he does not recognize Piccolo, which Piccolo's like, "What the hell? You don't recognize me? You can't sense my power, but your own 3.5-year-old daughter can." Which I will get into that in the ending when I'm, talking about all the stuff through this. So yeah, he basically he states that, and he shows him the, a video of his daughter, and Gohan's now pissed. He's going Super Saiyan, destroying the ground and stuff, and he's not holding back. He's coming to the base. He knocks the guy out. He's like, "Oh, take me to your base and stuff." So he goes to the base area, and he's going there to fight. And then Gamma, Gamma 2 comes back. Or I think it was Gamma 1. Yeah, it was Gamma 1 that fights him, and they're fighting back and forth. And Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is fighting against him, and he's getting the better of him until he goes, to his mystic form and stuff. But before I get into that, I do want to talk about Goku, Vegeta, and Broly on the Beerus planet. Broly was powering up. Goku said, "Calm down, you're going to destroy this." Broly still does not have control of his anger and his power to the point where, because they can, like Goku and Vegeta, obviously they can control their anger, and also they know how to control their power without destroying everything around them. Whereas Broly, he's still kind of wild, so they have to keep him controlled a little bit and can't fight him right off from the jump. So Whis says, "How about you guys all three have a triple threat match where they say no, he's going to destroy the planet, he can't control himself." So they're going to fight each other to showcase to Broly how to fight while controlling your power without destroying everything. Beerus shows up, Chile shows up, which we have a little bit of an interesting, story with Chile where, what's the thing called? Beerus sees her and he's kind of like attracted to her, and he's like being nice, and it's weird because I'd never seen him act like this. I didn't even know he had like any sexual or intimate desires with anybody. I thought he was kind of like Piccolo's people, like asexual or whatever, but he clearly does. And they're fighting. They have a nice little fight back and forth, and before they do get into the fight, Vegeta's meditating. Goku's like, "Why are you meditating? That's not training. That's not going to help you get stronger." And Vegeta's like, he's like, "Are you an idiot? The reason why Jiren was so powerful, it wasn't because he was stronger than us. It was because he knew how to use the power that he used in the right moment." And Goku's like, "Are you sure?" And that's why they got into the fight, so Vegeta can, practice a little more on the way, Jiren did, but also to kind of showcase to Goku what he means so Goku can understand, and get better himself. And then they get into a whole big fight, and, they're just eating ice cream stuff. And I forgot to mention that before they even go to the hideout, Piccolo goes to Dende, he talks to him about it. They get the Dragon Balls, upgrade the Dragon Balls, then use the Dragon Balls to unlock his potential. This is where we get Orange Piccolo. But he does have another side. He has one where his color changes to an awake, more lighter color. I think that's his awakened state. And then his orange state is his full-on power coming out. But that shows up later on. So he goes there, he gets the Dragon Balls to unlock his potential. And Bulma goes there to get cosmetic surgery, basically, to work on her butt and her eyelashes, which is crazy. And Piccolo is even like, "You're literally wasting these wishes on cosmetic surgery," which is come on, really? So that happens. Bulma also contacted Whis, but Beerus and them were too focused on Goku and Vegeta fighting and eating ice cream, and Beerus threw a big tub of ice cream onto the thing, so they couldn't see it. So they're basically left up on their own to handle the big threat by themselves, and that's where it goes. So yeah, Gohan's there. He's fighting him. This guy's getting the better upper hand on him. He's going back and forth, and then he goes into his mystic form, and they're fighting even more. And Piccolo, to make him go even further, picks up Pan and threatens, pretends to threaten her, which Gohan gets super pissed off of, not knowing that that's just Piccolo. And Gamma 1 and 2 are like, oh hell no, what the hell are you doing? You're literally threatening a little kid. Why are you threatening a kid? We're heroes. And even Dr. Hito before that was like, no, I don't kidnap people. I'm not going to kidnap an innocent child. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Not knowing, but Magenta lied to him, and also he threatened him. He's like, hey, you're working for me, I'm paying you, so shut up and just do your job. And you can see Hito kind of changing with his perspective, because he thought they were the evil ones in this alien invasion, and now he's realizing that no, he's being played and stuff. But yeah, so that happens. He goes Mystic, he's fighting them. Now he's getting the better hand, he's going a little bit back and forth. Gamma 2 tries to jump in, but Piccolo jumps in and fights him, and then he fights him in his orange form. But he's getting beaten, he's falling, and you see something go up in him, and there's this tree thing that this light that shines and forms a tree, and then forms a symbol on Piccolo's back, which gives him the power, and he goes into his huge orange form, where he's able to handle and body Gamma 1 and 2, and he's taking shots from all the people there, and he's just not even flinching, he's not even looking, he's taking them out. And Magenta now realizes oh crap, we're screwed, we need to release Cell Max, and he's seeing that Dr. Hito is kind of changing against him too, and he's like, okay, this guy is clearly being evil. So Gammas are also kind of realizing what, these guys aren't bad, I don't sense any evil in them, they seem like normal people. So Magenta goes down there to release him. Dr. Hito comes to top him, he shoots him, but luckily for him, he explained in the beginning of the movie that he put a synthetic drug inside his body that basically, because he has an MD and a PhD in doctors, and the medical thing basically made his body durable enough to tank bullets, and even more kinetic damage. Which he tanks the bullets, he gets it, he hits him with the bee thing, it stings him, poisons him, and kills, it kills Magenta, who he gets a cyborg upgrade, but he said that this poison even overrides any cybernetic enhancement you could put in. So he dies, but before he dies, he releases Cell Max, which he's like, oh shit. Cell Max breaks out, he's a giant, just monster creature. Now this is where the real fight begins, because Gamma 1 and 2 have gotten cool with them. Bulma came, she brought Android 18, brought Krillin, brought Goten and Trunks, who are older, and I think that's all that she brought. She brought them with her. She's like, these are the strongest people that I could find, because now they're gonna have to fight him. And luckily, Dr. Hito, he noticed that there's gonna be danger, so he left a weak point on Cell Max on top of his head, so they just have to attack the top of his head and destroy it. And then a big battle ensues, and they can't really beat him. He's too powerful, and Gamma 2 basically states that he's too powerful for us to defeat, so I'm gonna make a sacrifice. So he basically sacrifices himself, goes up in the sky, charges up fully, uses up all of his I guess you can say life energy, comes down to smash into his head. But as he does this, Cell Max blocks with his forearm, and now he's pushing on his forearm, and he's using up all of his energy, and he ends up using up his energy, destroying his arm, but in the process basically dying and falling down to the ground. And he's dead, and he's about to get stomped, but Orange Piccolo comes to stop him from stopping him. Krillin also comes, and then now the whole battle ensues. Now everybody's attacking Cell Max, back and forth, trying to knock him off. He's just sending off blasts throughout his entire body, just attacking everywhere, going crazy, and they have to take him out. So they're going back and forth with, fighting him. And they're noticing that they can't really beat him. So Piccolo's like, the only way I can really beat him is to make Gohan go even further. So Gohan, he's getting him to, power up and stuff. but Gohan just can't do it. So Piccolo knows he has to get beaten up and make it look like he's dying. So Piccolo's getting beaten up by Cell Max. He's fighting back again too. He also turns giant, but he's like fighting back and forth. But Cell is obviously overpowering him and beating up Piccolo. And Piccolo is dying and now he's bleeding, and Gohan's just like losing it. And at one point he sends him off in the air, blasts him, and catches him. And he's presumed dead, but he's not later on in the movie. But he's presumed dead, and this is enough to, enrage Gohan and set him off. Gohan loses it, he snaps, and he goes into his newest form, his beast mode form. And what happens is Cell Max throws him away, punches Gohan, punches him so hard that a shockwave gets sent, and it destroys the ground and it hits the mountain, destroying it. But the thing was, the craziest part about it was, Gohan didn't move an inch. Gohan stood there and tanked that punch easily. He didn't move with that hard shot. He grabs him by his hand, throws him, and he starts fighting him and beating him up. And he does have, the advantage, I think, in the power right here now, and he's beating him up. But the problem is he's moving around too much, and he can't really get a good hit. So Piccolo gets up, showcases he's not dead, stretches out, tries to grab him to hold him so, Gohan can use a special beam cannon through his head, but he's fighting it, so he has to grab both his arms, keep him down, and everybody else is jumping in and fighting. Also, I forgot to mention that Goten and Trunks fused and failed and became their fat version, Fat Gotenks, which was funny as hell, and his ass is showing, which is even more funny. And he was trying to hit them, so they're all trying to distract him and hold him in place, Beast Mode, Gohan could fire the special beam cannon. He fires it through his head, ends up killing him. He falls down, and now he's going to explode because there's a big explosion that's coming. They're trying to save everybody. Everybody leaves, and the explosion happens. They get out of the danger zone. He explodes. He basically dies. But before that, he did create a huge energy ball that went out, and it was almost the size of the planet. I'm pretty sure that energy ball was like the size of the moon, and he was about to drop it there. But he contained it in stuff. He made it smaller, and then both their energies clashed, and then Gohan's went right through it, killing him. They saved them. We find out Dr. Hito actually survived. His body, due to the synthetic thing, his body became more durable and survived it. And everybody survived except for Gamma 2. He died. His body disintegrates and stuff, and he leaves. And they're all sad, and he's even like, man, I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. And then he's like, he feels so bad about what he did. He's like, I deserve to go to prison. And they're like, nah, you know what? You made a mistake, but at least you made up for it, and you're actually trying to do something good. He's like, they're like, we're gonna forget about this and let this, clean the slate, just as long as you don't do this stuff again. And then him and Bulma are talking, and it seems like he might, end up being a character in the future that works with them, and might be, a regular at some point. And him and Bulma, their scientific geniuses work together would be insane. So yeah. He gets reformed and stuff, and they basically have that, and they're done. And then we go back to Beerus' planet where Goku and Vegeta are fighting. They're going back and forth still, and this is, I think, this is the end credit scene. And Vegeta beats Goku, but it's only base. He takes him down. He wins, and what's his name? Whis basically sees the contact. He's like, oh, you guys need our help? He's like, no, we finished it. We fixed the problem. Because it was too late by that time. So basically, that's where the movie ends. That's the whole recap. I didn't recap everything because there's a lot of stuff, and I did forget quite a bit of stuff. I did have to go back in here, back and forth here and there. But yeah, I think I gave majority of the story synopsis. Now, let me give you what I felt about the story as a whole. But first, I will give you the review, my rating first, and then I'll explain why I gave it this rating, and then the whole thing. If I'll be honest, the rating I'll give it around an 8.5, an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Now I know you guys are gonna be surprised, what? Dragon Ball for Life is giving an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10 to Dragon Ball Super Hero. You guys probably assume that I would hate it, and to be honest with you, I can't blame you if you guys think that way, because before I watched this movie, I felt like I was going to hate this movie, that I was just going to make a whole ranting video shitting on it, saying it's the worst Dragon Ball movie of all time, this and that. But, after watching it, it was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was. And it was not only better than what I thought it was actually good. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I can let loose. I can have fun. I know I come off a lot of times as, hating Dragon Ball. It's not that I hate Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. It's just that I wish, Like the direction that it went, I wish it went in a better direction. If it was written competently, I would have no problem. But the fact that it's so incompetent in the writing is why I'm mad. I don't need anything world breaking or anything crazy. All I need is some good, consistent writing. That's all I ask for. And this movie gave enough of that. This movie had a lot of great stuff. I will get into the stuff that I disliked about it first because I have more stuff that I liked about it. So let's talk about the stuff that I did not like about this film. Some of the writing, a couple of things. One, I did not like some of the writing. Some of the writing in this movie was kind of dumb. It didn't make sense and ridiculous, especially the lines. They were just I did not like some of the lines in this movie. Some of them are cringy, but some of them were just like, this doesn't make any sense. That was my biggest problem with the film. I felt like the music score was kind of lackluster. I think they could have done more with it, done better with the music score. Yeah, but those are just the visual stuff that I had problems with. But the big problems was the dialogue. Now, what dialogue did I not like? Yeah, so my problem is mainly the dialogue, and my biggest problem with the dialogue itself was the inconsistency and the stuff that didn't make any sense. Like for example, and when I watched I think it was Chuck's video on Cell Max being multiversal and stuff and how powerful he is. I was talking about this is stupid writing. I don't like when they have this. And I was talking about like the lines they were talking about, like, oh, Gamma 1 and 2 are stronger than Goku and Vegeta, and that even if they came here, we couldn't have beaten Cell Max. So those movies are still present. I mean, those lines are still present, and I still don't like them. But it doesn't completely ruin the movie, and I'll get into explaining why. But let's go through a couple of them. First one. The line where Vegeta was explaining his meditation process to Goku and talking about Jiren. There's two problems I have with this. First, when he was talking about Jiren, he said Jiren wasn't stronger than us. He was just able to control his strength better and release it in the right moment, which I don't agree. Jiren was definitively stronger than them. Like, he was tanking shots from their more powerful forms and blocking shots. We saw Goku going from all of his forms, and he was blocking all those forms punches with a single finger. I highly doubt that his strength was the same as them. It was just that he was able to use his power better. I'm pretty sure he was just stronger than them. So I don't agree with that line from Vegeta where he stated that he wasn't stronger than us. He was just no. He was definitively stronger than you guys. We saw throughout the entire fight he was constantly getting stronger and stronger, showcasing, oh, I'm holding back this much power, I'm holding back that much power, and now you're telling us that no. He wasn't stronger. He was just better at using his abilities. Bullshit. That's a complete bullshit. Goku Kaioken times 20, Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue was firing a spirit bomb, and he was able to push back the spirit bomb with his eyes. And you're telling me that this guy was not stronger than them? He just had that? That's complete cap. And then the whole story with, Goku and Vegeta. And I did hear some people talking about this where they thought it was kind of stupid, this part. Some people thought this was stupid because they were talking about like how, what's the thing called? That Vegeta was explaining to him. The thing that I think irked a lot of people was the fact that when Vegeta was meditating, Goku's like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time doing this? And then Vegeta had to explain to him the importance of meditation and, honing your powers and stuff, which made Goku, one, look like an idiot, two, look like he's an inexperienced fighter, which he is not. He might be an idiot, but when it comes to fighting, he's not, and he's definitely not an experienced fighter. For him to say something like that sounded like very inexperienced, because him saying, oh, why are you meditating, is like, Piccolo constantly meditates. He's meditating in this movie himself. You saw Jiren meditating, and here's the thing, Goku is meditated in Dragon Ball 2. Yes, he doesn't meditate on the level of, Piccolo, and I've never really seen Vegeta meditate. Maybe in the manga with, the Moro arc, but Goku, you know the fucking importance of meditation. You've done it yourself. You're not an idiot. You're not a complete brute force guy. The whole point of, the Cell Saga was Goku to showcase his intelligence, to showcase that he's not just brute force, because when he was in the hyperbolic time chamber, he was talking about like, oh, this form might give you more power, but it decreases your speed, and we need to, stay in Super Saiyan so we can, have better energy consumption and do this and that. He was thinking strategically, and now he's an idiot that doesn't understand the importance of meditation and, controlling your power and, using it wisely. The fact that Vegeta had explained this is like, First of all, this is a very basic and simplistic concept. And second of all, Goku is a master martial artist. There's no way in hell a master martial artist does not know the importance of this. So yeah, I could not buy that. I felt like that line was stupid and made Goku look dumber. And this is one of the problems that a lot of people have with Dragon Ball Super is how stupid they made Goku look. But even when they made him look stupid, at least they made him look smart when it came to fighting. But now they're making him look dumb and even when it comes to fighting. So I did not agree with him, being an idiot when it came to that. So yeah, I did not like that, and I can see why a lot of people didn't like that dialogue. Also, I did not like the dialogue of the power scaling where Gohan saying Piccolo and them saying Gamma 1 and 2 are stronger than the Z fighters and stuff. I don't agree with that. I don't think Gamma 1 and 2 are strong, and I'll make a video separate. Talking about the power scaling of that in another video, but for today I'm just going to be talking about what I felt about it. I just did not like that line. I also did not like the line where he said even if Goku and Vegeta came here to fight Cell Max, well, they probably wouldn't have won. They probably wouldn't have won, which I disagree with. I think they could have definitively beat him. I don't agree with that line. So I did not like those type of lines. It was very inconsistent. Two, it didn't make any sense, and three, some of the lines just made some of the characters sound dumb, especially Goku. Though I'll chalk up Gohan and Piccolo's, explanations as them not understanding very well because one, they can't sense a godly ki, and two, they've been out of the loop from most of these big battles that they've been in. And even if we talk about the Tournament of Power, like saying, well, they were in the Tournament of Power, so they saw how strong Goku and Vegeta were. But remember, Vegeta literally stated that Jiren wasn't physically stronger than them, even though that was completely incorrect too. So there's obviously some inconsistencies when it comes to the writing, but I'll make a video about that separately. But yeah, those were the only real problems I had. Was the music was kind of lackluster. Maybe the story wasn't as in depth as I was hoping. Third, I would say that they kind of, like I said before, they tried the same story beats that they had before. They're repeating the same thing, though I would say they didn't do it as bad as I thought they would. And I think, did I say the music? Oh, the music and the dialogue, that was the only stuff that I didn't like. But everything else I absolutely love about this movie. So now let me talk about the stuff that I love, and then I'll wrap up this review. Like I said, I absolutely loved this movie. I enjoyed it. I was having fun. I was laughing. I was entertained. I was enjoying the fights. I was amazed. Everything I liked about it. So let's go with stuff I liked. The art and animation. I know a lot of people did not like the art style of it being 3D CGI. Personally, I do not like that either. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to watch Kengan Omega's or Kengan Ashura's Netflix adaptation, because I love the manga, but I do not want to see them fight in CGI. And that was one of the reasons I was kind of put off on Baki coming on Netflix, because a lot of times they were implementing 3D CGI and it didn't work very well. And I thought that was going to happen in this movie a lot. But to be honest, the CGI was absolutely fucking amazing. I'm not going to lie. I might be over-exaggerating, but it was amazing. The art style was amazing. The animation was amazing. The fluidity was amazing. The first opening where, they had, explaining the backstory with Goku and stuff and showing Cell and stuff, the art looks so beautiful, especially when they showed Cell, against Hercule, and you see Goku and them around there. They had like this color shading stuff where it looks so beautiful. I'm like, this movie looks so great. I was expecting it to look bad, especially because Forever World was bitching about it constantly. Oh, this art, it's 3D CGI. He was bitching about it, and then I watched it, and it was fucking amazing. It was great. I wouldn't say it's the best art style, but it was still great, especially for CGI, 3D CGI. I was expecting it to be a horror show, like a shit show, but it came out so perfectly amazing that I loved it. So yeah, I love the ones where they do the backstory because they're using 2D with a little bit of the CGI, and then when they were just doing the pure CGI, 3D CGI, it looked really great. I would only say a couple parts I didn't like the fingers, it looked a little bit off, but as a whole, the character models look good, especially in the fights when they were moving around, going back and forth, and you're panning the camera around. It looked beautiful, especially when they're using their powers, where we see, they're firing an energy attack, and it's like camera panning around it and then moving around and stuff. That was so cool, especially in the flying. Piccolo, when he gets off the lookout tower and he's flying through the clouds, and you see the clouds and him flying, it just showcases their power. And because the best thing about watching these superpowered shows is seeing how characters with extreme superpowers would look like. And this movie represented that perfectly. So I absolutely loved that. Also, when Cell Max was doing the huge giant energy attack and it was going out into outer space, that looked beautiful. When they were powering up, where you see, Gohan going to his beast mode and Gamma 2 using up all of his energy, that was beautiful. So I absolutely love that. The story itself was actually, I really liked the story writing. It was very interesting. It was very entertaining. I would have preferred more of a, original writing instead of, a repetitive one, but it was still pretty good. I like the new characters. I really like Dr. Hito. I think he's a really cool dude. I want him to actually be a part of the main, cast. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, I really like the personality. They're not very, I thought they were going to be more boring, but they were actually had a very good personality. Gamma 1 was the more serious, straightforward guy, whereas Gamma 2 was the more fun and playful, wild one. And it was cool. And it was also really sad seeing him die. I think that scene was very sad to see him die, because I was like, he's such a cool character and he's so nice. I was like, man, I wish he didn't die. Hopefully they can, rebuild him and bring him back, since he is an android, so technically he can come back. And Dr. Hito, with his intelligence, he could definitely do it. So yeah, I really like that. I like those characters. Magenta, I really could care less for him. I could care less for his assistant too. Though I will say, I do love the joke about him and his pompadour, and the fact that he wants to keep it up so badly that they built the car with the dome around it, so when he sits in it, his hair doesn't get smushed. That I thought was funny. Also, talking about being funny, this movie actually had some good, comedic scenes in it. It wasn't full of comedy, which I really like. I think it's a good thing not to go the full Thor: Love and Thunder route where you overfill with comedy. It had a decent amount of comedy, but the amount that they had was really, really good. So I really like that. I really appreciate that. The fights were amazing. The fights were so good. I'm going to be honest, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I think the fighting in this was far better than that in Broly. I think Broly's fighting didn't really captivate me, but this one really did. The visual aspect, the camera work that they were doing, the choreography, the hits and stuff, everything about it was so cool. I love that. So I really appreciate that. I think as a whole, this movie was just fun and enjoyable, and I didn't have to overthink everything. Also, I thought the dialogue was going to be worse when it came to, the stupidity and inconsistencies like in, Super, but it was very tame. Yes, they had some moments that I talked about, and I'll make a whole video about it, where it didn't make sense, the statements they're making, and I talked about this also in the Chuck video. But as a whole, it wasn't that as egregious as Resurrection of F, or what's the thing called? Resurrection of F, or Broly, because Broly and Resurrection of F made no sense. Frieza coming back and training for 4 months, getting that powerful was stupid. Broly on a bug planet, being able to handle them in his base, and then getting to, in Super Saiyan alone, being able to push them so far they go to Fuse and then go Super Saiyan Blue to beat him. That was dumb as shit. But as this movie, there's nothing really, feat-wise to indicate that these characters are ridiculously on Goku or Vegeta's level, and they gave them a decent power-up, which, like I said, I'm fine with. They should have just done it a little more creative way. I don't like how they had Piccolo get it from Wish, and Gohan just get it from just getting angry and powering up. I think that was kind of a lazy cop-out to make him get angry and powered up. I think if they did it where they consistently trained and had Whis train them on top of it, and had Gohan kind of unlock a godly form, because he's a Saiyan, who's to say, from what we've been explained, unlocking godly ki isn't that hard. You just have to contain the ki in you. So if he had proper training from Whis, like how Vegeta got, he could have unlocked Super Saiyan God and stuff, and it would have made sense why he would be so powerful, and I would have been fine with it. And Piccolo, they could have done something where, since the Namekian lore book or whatever they called it, had the whole story of, it was talking about the Super Saiyan God. Why not have a little bit of lore on how to obtain a Namekian godly form, which Piccolo could? That would be cool to see Piccolo become a Namekian god, and he's on par with Goku and Vegeta in his godly form. Have him have his own unique form. The orange form looks cool. I liked it. I think it was a great departure. It looked basically. He was big. He got huge and muscular. I told my brother, I'm like, hey, he looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. He literally looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's so cool to see that. But yeah, I like the transformations. I like the design of the transformations. I just think they could have done it in a better way. But yeah, if I'm being honest, as a whole, this movie was very fun and enjoyable. It didn't leave me bored. I wasn't bored. I wasn't angry. I wasn't disappointed. I left there very, happy. I came in there with bad expectations, like this movie's gonna be shit. I'm gonna hate on it, but I absolutely loved it. I think it deserves more of the praise than what it's getting, and it deserves more money. Personally, for me, Battle Gods, I loved it. I think Battle Gods should have got paid. It should have got more money. I think Resurrection F and Broly were shit and should have got, less hype and less money because let's be honest, Resurrection of F and Broly were dog shit movies. I don't care what anybody say. They were absolute dog shit movies. This movie was really good. I want to say it's the best or it's perfect, but it's still fun and enjoyable and significantly better than, Broly and Resurrection of F. Here's the thing. I'm not asking for anything crazy. I just hope that they keep on making more movies like this, but just with a little more creative writing so we can have more fun. I think this one was a fun one. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah. I'm giving this a rating of 8 to 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a solid film. I think some people might disagree and not like it. I personally liked it. I didn't think it was boring. I didn't hate it. It didn't make me fill with rage and anger like, Resurrection of F and Broly did. But I would say some of the dialogue with, the inconsistency stuff, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, but we don't know at this point if it is canon. So if it's not, I'm gonna have absolutely no problem. I'm gonna love it. But if it is, then and if that is the direction they're going with, I'm not gonna like it. But I'm kind of used to it at this point with the direction that Dragon Ball Super's gone. But yeah, I really loved it. I think the visuals are great. I just want to give you guys a suggestion. Please go check out the film. The movie, when I went to the movie theater, like I said, it was disappointing to see nobody in there. It was just me, my brother, my cousin, and a handful of other people there, and it was mostly empty. And I could be wrong. Maybe it was just simply because it was the latest screening. But even if it is the latest screening, I was hoping for at least half of the movie theater to be filled. It's sad that that's not happening, and it's sad that Resurrection of F and Broly's dog shit asses got so much, hype and so much money when they were both ass films that had little to no, it had little to no time and effort put into it. Whereas this movie had actual love and care and actually did something. And here's the thing: this has come from a guy who does not even like Gohan. I'm not a Gohan fan. I find him either annoying, whiny, and a little bitchy, or cocky and douchey. And this movie made me, enjoy him. And like I said, if I don't really like Gohan and I like this movie and this movie was mainly about Gohan, then, maybe it's because the movie's just really fun and written and well written. So yeah, that's my movie review on Dragon Ball Superhero. I absolutely love the movie. It blew out my expectations. It was really great. I put it well above, Resurrection of F and Broly. I don't care what anybody says. Though I'm not putting it above Battle Gods. I still think that's the best, Dragon Ball film. And I wouldn't put it as, even my second favorite Dragon Ball film, but I would definitely put it as, top 5 Dragon Ball film that I've seen. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and comment what you guys felt about the movie. Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? What did you not like about it? What you guys thought about it? I will be making, a power scaling video talking about this and going more in depth about it. So, talking about what I feel about it. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys next time.